I will say I was completely wrong about 300. I talked a lot of shit for a long fucking time. I did say on paper it was good, but it's going to come down to the results. And lo and behold, dude, every fucking fight was a must watch.
Yeah.
I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody.
Yeah, use that natural light shit. Hey, Roscoe. You here for the pod too, pal?
Alright, does that
I still can't see. Damn it. No, I can't see shit, dude. Turn a light on. There we go. There's that bright, beautiful face. Alright, you next to the modem, brother?
Yeah, sir.
What? Dude, I can't hear a fucking word you're saying.
I was happy. Last time.
Could you hear that?
He's like in and out.
Honestly, I would try it from his phone at this point.
Maybe try it from your phone. Yeah, we'll text you the link.
What the? All right, bro. We're back. What's up?
We're fucking back, dude. Dude, UFC 300?
Dude. Well, dude, I didn't get to watch any of the, I only watched the main card. I missed the Bo Nickel fight on the main card with my grandparents, but I was checking out the stats after, and, dude, I didn't watch the fight, but what happened to your guy, Calvin Kattar? The stats did not look too good.
All right, so here's my thing. Whoever put Aljamain Sterling on that card, because every single fight, you either have awesome finishes or, like, great firepower.
Yeah.
He's the one fighter did not have firepower.
I heard it was boring. I
understand
he's
he's, like, the best grappler in the fucking sport, but, like, why the fuck was he on this card when you have murderers all over it? Every single fight you got him. Even Calvin Kattar's a murderer. You just got to give him the good matchup.
Wait.
I think that's just that's a matchup problem.
So Aljo was getting booed, right? I think I saw that on Instagram.
Yeah, they were booing it. I mean, obviously, Kattar didn't know it. Like, Kattar looked like Font against Sandhagen. It was just, like, he'd, like, hold up, like, the clinch up against the cage and, like, sit there for, like, a few seconds, and he was eyeing the ref for them to split them up. He was looking to have him break up the grappling up against the cage and stuff. If there was no movement, he was kind of, like, staring at the ref like, you're going to break this up so we can stand up?
Yeah. Do you know who the ref was?
I do not remember who ref that fight.
You got to be able to, like, at the end of the day, it is a business. Like, you got to be able to read. Dana should be like, read the crowd a little bit. If they're booing so much, fucking stand them up. You know what I mean? Like, we got to make money here.
Well, Aljo didn't even get a post-fight interview.
I heard that they had him walk away, right? Or something like that?
Yeah, they're just like, that was a fucking dud. That was the one dud on the card. And you can see that there is a big, big issue with that. With the jiu-jitsu and that ground game at the cartel.
Was Kattar just on the ground the whole time?
Yeah, he was on the ground the whole time. It wasn't good.
Yeah, that'll do it.
He's a blue belt, which they said on the broadcast. It's I was intrigued to see how his ground game was after seeing Rob Font being able to improve. I mean, he's no world beater, but at least like his takedown defense and just his defense on the ground we've seen strides in his last few fights since Sandhagen.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, I wonder how kind of Calvin has done it with that camp. And it looks like they're at square one with him. I was hoping to see him kind of be a little bit more ahead of what we've seen from Font, but obviously he's going up against like the best grappler in the fucking sport.
Dude, all they need to do is reach out to me. I'll go in and train them in the grappling if they want. I'm one phone call away. They haven't reached out yet, though.
One phone call away. Too bad you're like 300 miles away, it feels like, all the way from northern Mass all the way down the Cape.
Yeah, now we're on the Cape, which is a little bit unrealistic. But if they called me and said, bro, we just need some sparring partners to get in here and drill some wrestling, I would definitely go up there a few days a week.
Who wouldn't?
Yeah.
But yeah, so those the ground woes for the cartel are still rolling through, which really sucks.
Were you sad watching it live?
I was so fucking depressed, dude.
Because
I
Kelsey was
wanted
sitting
to
right
fucking
next to you,
hang
right?
myself.
Kelsey
What?
was sitting right next to you, right?
Yeah, she sat next to me during the basically the early prelims and the prelims, and then once the main card, I watched it on my phone and I just laid down in bed by myself.
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, so yeah, that was a tough fight, pretty depressing, but I don't want to see Aljo as anywhere in the mix. If he's around for UFC 400, do not put him in that.
Yeah.
It's brutal. Even like when he wins it, he's not an exciting fighter. So that's why I'm very confused as to why they threw him on the 300 guard when they could have easily given a way more favorable matchup to Cater, or you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
just a fun matchup at least. Like you're right because Dana wanted this card to be, and the card ended up being fucking awesome. The pay per view at least, but you can't put like fucking boring wrestler on there with a banger like Cater and expect a good fight.
Right, and even at least like Bo Nickel was like active. He looks really good. He looks fucking incredible on the ground.
Well,
He looks.
he said he wasn't happy with his performance. I was gonna ask you why he said that. Like, what was he not happy about?
I don't. I think because the fight lasted longer. I think it was a lot of groundwork. It didn't end in a finish. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So I think that's kind of where he. That's kind of where I saw it when he made that comment. But he's a fucking dog. I love Bo Nickel.
Yeah.
I think he's the real deal.
Did you see the video I sent you on Instagram of Sean Strickland talking about Bo Nickel?
No, I didn't. I don't have Instagram.
Oh,
My
I
Instagram's.
sent it to you and Dan. No wonder you never answer. Only Dan does. But they asked Strickland about Bo Nickel, and he was like, "Bo Nickel, who the fuck is that?" And they were like, "Oh, it's the guy at Penn State." And he was like, "Penn State? Didn't something bad happen there? Stay at Penn State, Bo Nickel."
Yeah, that was another good fight. I figured with Brundage and like him being such a veteran, I figured that was gonna be a lot closer. But Bo Nickel handedly won that fight.
And real quick, you know what fight? I want to like kind of save the best ones for last. But you know what fight really surprised me? Ended up being a great fight. Was the two Chinese girls.
That fight was fucking incredible, Jan, and
It was It was like the best women's
Zhang
fight I've
Weili.
seen. Probably the best women's fight I've seen in the last like 5 years.
I don't know, dude. That Harrison Holly Holm fight was pretty sick.
I didn't get to see that.
Yeah. So the Zhang Weili fight, Zhang Weili lost the third round. I actually kind of got like beat up, and then those championship rounds, Zhang
thought she lost
Weili
the
just
first.
fucking ran her over. What?
She lost the first round too, right? Debatably, or it might have been close.
Yeah, it was close. Like, yeah, like she did really well, especially striking. She did great, but those championship rounds really came in huge for Zhang Weili. So I think she should be considered one of the best female fighters on the planet. I think Zhang Weili, without a doubt, one of the best to ever do it.
Jan is a dog though, and I love when corners give like her corner literally said. I think Anik said it after was like they're calling for that front kick, and like right after Anik said it, she dropped the front kick and dropped Zhang Weili. So I like when corners give like real advice like that, not just like, "Come on, man, you're doing good." Like, dude, Trevor Whitman. I thought he was a great coach. I love Trevor Whitman. He was like telling Gaethje lies between every round. I was like, "What the fuck are you doing, dude? These rounds are not close. You're losing every single round."
The only round Gaethje won was the third, or the fourth.
Yeah,
It was the third or the fourth round he won, but Holloway was winning that fifth round, anyways. So it was going to be a 4-1 decision.
yeah. But usually like Whitman's like Usman, Rose, Gaethje, like they were all champions at one, or like he had two
They were all
champions.
champions.
Gaethje at one time. He usually gives like really good corner advice, but he was like, excellent. You're doing great. You're like, bro, no, you're losing round after round. Like, don't tell your guy.
No, I mean, dude, I don't know how the fuck Holloway was walking after that fight.
Oh
He
my God.
kicked the fucking shit out of Holloway, and I like even Dana was like, he's walking around. I don't know how the fuck he's doing it. Max Holloway is the baddest motherfucker on the planet, proven 1000%. And he was already a bad man before that.
Yep, he's tough, real tough. I've been telling you for a while, dude. Him and Volk are my two favorite fighters, so it's been rough having them in the same weight class. But even Volk was ruined for Holloway.
Oh yeah, Volk Law, dude. I mean, how especially a guy who's fought 3 times, he knows and he's seen he's lapped the division at what feels like 100 times.
Yeah.
How do you not wanting that guy to beat Gaethje? You know, he's going up in a weight class for that belt. I mean, I don't know how you don't like Holloway or always root for him.
Exactly, yeah. And I'm pretty sure even Volk picked Max before the fight. Like, he's one of the few guys who picked him. But dude, he dominated. He'd never looked so good.
Yeah, because on the broadcast they were saying he had gone up in weight one other time and he he looked way better in this fight. He looked way more prepared. So my thing was with him, I picked Gaethje. We'll talk about how on the prelims I was correct on every prelim up until the main card. I just want to have that out there.
Okay.
I was curious to see if there were if any power is going to translate, because he is such a high output fighter, but doesn't really have a lot of finishing power. And I am shocked that of all people he knocked the fuck out was Justin Gaethje.
Yeah. Well, he's a beast for even pointing at the ground and doing that at the end. He didn't have to do that, like you said.
He does that all the time, though. Anyways,
Yeah.
That's just how he is. He's always like, meet me in the fucking middle right now.
But against Gaethje, though, that's scary.
That's very scary. He said his punching power wasn't as crazy as people said, but he said his kicks, he hits like a fucking train.
Yeah, you could tell that too. Like, and people forget that Gaethje was like a nasty college wrestler too. I
don't think I've ever seen him wrestle.
Yeah, he's a freak. He's a freak. And then
he is a freak.
The main event, I kind of felt bad for John Mahal, to be honest with you.
Oh, Jamal Hill. Yeah, dude, I love Jamal Hill. I knew that was going to be a tall order. He said he wanted to strike with Pereira. I'm like, that's not going to fucking end up well. Like, yeah, like you hit hard. Like you got some good knockouts under your belt. But if you're going to beat Pereira, it has to be on the ground. Because no one can stand up to him. No one.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you put Pereira as like a GOAT?
I think, well, first of all, you saw he smashed Francis Ngannou's record on the power punching thing at the UFC Institute, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's like the most powerful guy. Yeah, dude. I mean, he won fucking 2 belts and 2 weight classes in like 2 years.
He's been in the promotion for 3 years. He's had 12 MMA fights.
Yeah, I think he's a fucking freak, dude. And if he wins the heavyweight fight, if he beats Aspinall, oh my god, you gotta make him a GOAT.
I don't know. Dana White said he didn't like having him go up to heavyweight. I'm like, why not? He's probably a natural heavyweight.
Yeah.
Because he was making a huge cut for 85, and he's still cutting for 205.
Yeah.
You put him at heavyweight, dude, he's a fucking problem.
100%. I agree with that.
He could be the first guy to win 3 belts in 3 divisions.
He's tall.
I don't know how that's not something you're trying to sell.
Yeah. And he's tall as fuck. Like, he's like a big guy. It's not like he'd be undersized up there. If he bulked up, he'd be good. You know?
Yeah, I know.
And he's already got the power, too.
Yeah, I know. Because what do you think he walks around at? If he was making a huge cut to 85 and then is still making a cut at 205, what's he walking around at? Like 240?
I bet he walks around at like 28, 30. My guess.
230?
That's my guess, though. I could be completely wrong.
I know. He is fucking giant. What's he, 6'3"?
Well, yeah, you saw Whitaker said that. When they asked Whitaker about him, Whitaker was like, have you guys seen the fucking size of this guy? Who the fuck let him into this weight class?
Yeah, even like Rogan was saying he's a fucking mammoth in person. He's absolutely gigantic. He didn't know how he was making those weight cuts in 85.
He's also scary, like looking. Like he's just a scary fucking dude.
He's such a beast.
Don't you love?
Yeah, I put him as the GOAT, dude. He's probably he has to be a GOAT.
Oh,
12 fights, 2 belts in 2 different divisions, and should be going on to a 3rd division.
With how fast he did it too, was crazy. And he
in 3 years.
Connecticut. Yeah, he's got to be a GOAT.
And he beat Izzy, and he avenged Glover.
So his only loss in the UFC, his second fight to Izzy.
Yeah.
Wow, he's a freak, dude.
I mean, his lights knocked out.
Yeah.
He was out cold on Izzy.
They need to run that back again. Those are good fights. Good fights.
I don't know if he's going to go back to 85. I think he's done with it. Because he was saying how hard the weight cut was, which I think is probably a reason why, after he had lost to Izzy, he's like, fuck it, dude, I'm just going. He's like, we've had our battles. You got the last one. Like, I'm going to 205. That's what I think is kind of more or less why it played out. He doesn't want to make that weight cut.
No, I don't blame him, but that fucking sucks, dude. I like seeing those two fight.
I know.
And their story is like a great story, too.
Your boy Cody got subbed in the second round by Figgy.
Yeah, that was sad. That was real sad. I did catch the clip of that actually too. I like Cody, dude. I didn't like what you sent me about the excuses he said about his vertigo or whatever. Even if it is true, I don't think he's a liar, but just don't put it out there, dude. Be a fucking man, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
I don't really care
how
for that
Jamal
either.
Hill. Jamal Hill took his loss and Gaethje like fucking men, you know?
Yeah, I know. Figueiredo's I see Figueiredo being most definitely in the mix for the belts very soon.
Definitely.
In that division.
Yeah, I've been saying that for a while. He's a freak athlete too. You can tell.
I'd love to see him face Marab. Marab would be such a good matchup for that, but Marab's obviously fighting O'Malley next.
Wait, no, but oh yeah, because they're 35. Wait, was that fight at 35 or 20? That fight was at 35, right?
35, yeah. Figueiredo, after his most recent, who did he lose to? Moreno?
Yeah.
After he lost to Moreno again, or after he had won whatever the case was, I can't remember. He said he was going up to 35 because he was a weight bully, dude. He missed a lot of weight. He had a lot of tough weight cuts getting down to 25.
Mm-hmm. I remember that. And how are you a little bit pissed that McGregor is returning against Chandler on my wedding night?
No, I'm not mad. I'm just mad that he's still fighting, dude. I've been saying for years I don't want him back in the ring. Just fucking call it a day, dude. You're the first one to do it. You're one of the most iconic knockouts in the sport. You beat the GOAT featherweight in fucking 20 seconds. You know what I mean? He made all the money.
Knock Chandler out.
He made he's not knocking Chandler. Chandler, dude, I hate that matchup.
You heard it.
Chandler's wrestling is insane.
Pat, clip this. He's knocking Chandler out in the second round.
I don't see it. I see Chandler mauling him. The only way he loses is if Chandler decides to just stand up and fight, and then obviously it's anybody's game. You know what I mean? When it comes to striking, all it takes is one.
Yeah, but McGregor did decent against Khabib. Like, he won a round against Khabib. He was doing a pretty good on the takedown defense. You think Chandler's that much better of a wrestler or equal to Khabib to get McGregor down like that?
I see Chandler as kind of like Chimaev, just kind of comes out of the gate running.
He's fun to watch. He's definitely fun.
Yeah, so if Conor can weather that storm, I think that his chances are better. But if you're weathering that storm, you're basically losing the first round where Conor's his best. Conor's only good within the first 2 rounds.
I just feel like if Conor could stuff a couple takedowns, he's definitely going to be the better striker, with gauging his distance and everything. Just look at McGregor versus Alvarez, and look at Alvarez versus Chandler. The striking levels are just not on the same. Granted, Alvarez and Chandler was 10 years ago, so he's probably gotten a lot better. But I just feel like McGregor's a fucking nasty striker, dude.
He is a nasty striker, but he's also been on the shelf for fucking 2 or 3 years now.
And he's rich as fuck now, so what does he even have to fight for anymore? You know what I mean?
Some money can't buy you a belt. I think that's why.
Exactly. Oh, dude, yes, dude. DP's fighting for the belt. I was so pumped when they announced that. If DP wins the belt against Islam, I'm gonna start screaming in your face, "Dustin won the belt! Dustin won the belt!" And then we're gonna clip the old one when you flipped out.
Islam's gonna win by rear naked choke. I'm calling it.
No, he can't
Easy,
times. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 3 times, burn the whole fucking. You have to retire, you know. It can't happen.
He has to retire. If he loses that belt, dude, I don't see him sticking around. But then again, dude, being a prize fighter like he is, that's not too. I don't think it's that bad. Bad for him to kind of stick around. But at the same time, he was saying last fight, I'm at that age, I'm almost 40. I'm going into these fights. I'm going to end up leaving parts of myself that I'm not going to be able to get back.
Yeah.
So I could see this, because he's going to have to if he wins, which he won't. If he does, he's going to have to defend it. So he's going to have at least one more fight to go.
Yeah. Well, I feel like his name is big enough now to where, if he did lose this fight, he could still fight, 2 or 3 more times, some big names, just for
That's what I'm saying. He's kind of that prize fighter.
He could fight Kobe. Him and Kobe would definitely sell if Kobe could win against. Even if Kobe lost against Ian Gary and DP lost against Islam, they still have major beef going back years. Those two.
Is the Ian Gary fight official?
No, not official. Highly rumored, though. I think it's going to happen.
Yeah, Gary said that he signed it. He's just waiting for Colby, right?
Yeah, exactly. He kind of put the pressure on Colby, balls in your court, and did it on social media so everyone knows, you better fucking accept this fight.
Yeah. The dude, poor Jim Miller got his fucking brakes beat off by Bobby Green, dude.
Yeah, I did watch the clips of that. He's just too fucking tough for his own good, dude. Most guys probably would have went down and just gotten KO'd, turtled up.
Yeah. The dude, Bobby Green, he looked so fucking clean, and he just sat there and was just fucking with him the whole time, laying down his, worked his jab so well. Bobby Green's a fucking savage. He's so I love Bobby Green.
And you heard who he called out in his interview?
Who did he call out? I can't remember.
Patty Pimblett.
I would love that fight.
Who do you think
I would
that?
love that fight.
Who do you?
That should be like a fight night, like free, like that should be like the main event. They should make like a mini, like a small. I like when they do. Like, there's always good for like one card a year. The UFC, it's like a sick card, and they'll have it for free. Like they should be on that card.
Yeah, definitely. How do you think that fight goes, though?
I don't know, dude. Bobby's a fucking gangster. I don't put anything by him, but Patty is good. How's his Patty's grappling? Is he a good grappler, or is he more just a striker? I mean, well, Flash Gordon had him up against the cage when they fought the whole night.
Didn't he? Did he take down Tony Ferguson, or did he only beat Tony Ferguson up on his feet?
Such a forgettable fight because Tony just can't win. So
That's the only Patty the Batty fight I've ever watched was the Tony one because I wasn't all into all the hype yet. I thought Tony was gonna fuck him up actually.
I like that Bobby Green matchup. I think that's a really good matchup for because Patty had surgery. He hasn't fought in a while, right?
Green is smart, dude. He calls out like smart people. He doesn't like try and jump too far. He's calling out like bigger names, lower ranked guys. He's a smart dude. Jim Miller, Patty Pimblett, those are two big wins back to back, and he could do that.
Yeah, then he can climb his way up the ranks and he kind of halts Patty. I don't know what. I think the UFC, that's a pretty good matchup for Patty. I don't think it's a terrible one. I think that's a pretty fair fight as far as kind of he's on the rise. Bobby Green's kind of been that like journeyman. He's kind of I feel like he's kind of had like a hot streak. He's had a few big wins. I know obviously went in against Islam on that short notice fight, but I don't really count that.
I think ranking wise, it would like make sense. Dana should definitely make that fight. That's a good fight to make. It's a fun fight too, stylistic.
That's a very fun fight, and there's gonna be a lot of shit talking. Like the build up to that fight's gonna be awesome too. Mm-hmm. I think that'd be a fucking sick matchup with those two guys. I'd love to watch that.
Yeah, Bobby Green. That was like, I don't even know anything about the guy. I never watched any of his fights. All I see him doing is this.
The dude, that Jalen Turner fight was tough, huh?
What's wrong?
Did you see the highlight of that?
No.
Jalen Turner legit slept Moicano. Knocked him out, didn't follow up, and tried to walked off.
Oh, yeah.
Moicano got back, rose from the fucking dead, then came back and won.
Yeah.
And he knocked him out.
What an idiot, right? Why the fuck didn't he follow up?
I don't know, dude. I think he thought he did, like, on his way down, he looked like he was not conscious. He did, and then, like, he kind of, like, those guys kind of come to when they, like, kind of hit their head on the mat, on the canvas, and they kind of came back up. He popped right up and kind of a little wobbly, but they didn't call it. And Jalen's like, look at him, he can't fucking stand, and then he ends up, when did he win? Second round. Yeah, he won the second round at the end of the second.
Round and pound. That was, that's a true warrior right there. Someone who can get fucked up like that and still come back and win.
Yeah, and then obviously his post-fight interview talking about economics and how much he loves America. Moicano is like my favorite fucking guy right now. I love that guy.
I didn't catch that, but I saw that people online were like, he should be running for political office or something like that.
He fucking should, dude. His last fight, he's like, I want to join the SWAT team. I want to kill the bad guys. I fucking love America. I'm like, why is he the most American fucking dude ever? And he's Brazilian. Yeah. It's incredible.
He should come train in Connecticut too with Pereira.
What?
He should come train in Connecticut with Pereira. We'll welcome him with open arms.
Oh, dude, 100%, dude. I don't know how he hasn't made his way over there with those guys. And with Brazil. Brazil's shutting down Twitter. They don't have a First Amendment down there. They hate free speech.
Is he at a notable camp? Did he train for like Oliveira or anything? Or did he just have his own camp?
Let me see what camp he runs out of. Oh, he's an ATT guy.
Oh, okay. Okay, so he is in America. He's just in Florida.
Yeah. Yeah, he is. That's a sick... Wow, he's considered a jiu-jitsu guy, too. That's his fighting style. Obviously, I mean, every Brazilian's going to be a jiu-jitsu guy, but he's a fucking beast. I love that guy. Unhinged on the mic, too. It's just, like, adds another fucking piece to him that I love.
Yeah.
Poor Holly Holm got fucking slept by, she got choked out. Dude, she tried to wrestle with Harrison, and I was like, this is the dumbest fucking decision you could make. Dana White thinks Holly Holm should retire.
I saw she said after, too, that she just abandoned the whole game plan that they trained for and just, like, did her own thing.
You can't do shit against fighters like Kayla, who's a monster, dude. She's a gold medalist in judo. Great wrestler. I was shocked, like, when we were texting about it between those two, and I was like, oh, I was kind of torn, like, a tough weight cut. Like, she looked brutal on the scale for this fight. It's like, oh, Holly Holm is well seasoned, but she's 45. She's over 40 years old. She's like 42 or something.
Yeah, she's 42. And Kayla's
Yeah,
like
she's
in her prime.
42. Yeah, she's 33. She's right in her prime, and she bundled the competition in the PFL. I don't know how many more fights does she get before the belt?
I mean, there's not much going on in women's MMA. Probably like one more. I feel like give her one more ranked opponent.
Yeah,
because no one gives a shit anymore.
yeah. Who else? No, I'm trying to see who else is in that fucking division. Women's bantamweight, 136. Oh, is that? Oh, what did she say? What's your name? Pena. Pena hasn't fought in a while.
Wait, who is the fucking champion of that division right now? How do I not know this?
Women's bantam? Is that Valentina?
No, I think she's 25.
Isn't it? Oh, that's Raquel Pennington.
She's the champ right now, Raquel Pennington?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's gonna get her ass kicked, dude, 100%. Kayla Harrison would fuck her up like tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't see. Kayla Harrison, I think that's her division to lose.
Mm-hmm.
Especially, I mean, if you do that to Holly Holm, like, granted, she's not the same person she was 10 years ago, but she's well seen, great striker.
Yeah, the matchmakers did go with that. Give her, they like to do that. They like to give people like their first UFC fight. They'll give them like a big name, kind of like old, washed up guy, get a nice win under their belt, and then start the build up. You know.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, Raquel Pennington is she's the champion. So it's her. So it's Raquel Pennington at bantam, Alexa Grasso at flyweight, and then strawweight Zhang Weili.
And you saw your girl Amanda Nunes, who retired, made a video after the Kayla Harrison fight or whatever.
Yeah, if I was to write this script, Kayla Harrison just goes right for the belt, or she'll get one more, go for the belt, win, and then Nunes comes back out of retirement. That would be that's a Hollywood ending to me.
I might actually even watch that fight if it happens like that and the script goes to plan. I might actually even watch that fight.
Dude, I love Amanda Nunes. She was such a fucking badass,
dude. You were
I'd love to see her come back. I would love to see her come back.
For me, it was weird with her because when I first became a fan, Ronda Rousey was so dominant. It was almost like no one else even mattered. And then it was like really quick, like Holly champion, Misha champion. Then Misha defending against Nunes, I was like, who the fuck is this girl? She's not going to fucking win. Then she went on a legendary, like, 8-fight winning streak.
I fucking loved, Nunes. I think I could see
she's violent.
Juliana Pena probably being her next fight.
I like Juliana
unless they just want to give her Pennington, but I think with Kayla Harrison in the mix, I think you should do. I like the Juliana Pena versus Harrison, and then she gets the belt if she wins.
So you're saying Harrison versus Pena next fight, and then she'll fight Pennington or whoever the champion is after that fight?
Yeah, so I think you give her one more, let her fight Pena, and then fight Raquel.
Yeah, give her like a high ranked, like, younger girl, just so she could. I think she'll walk through her, but just to prove herself, and then give her the belt.
Right, exactly, and then ideally have Nunes come out of retirement.
That'd be good. Yeah,
dude,
Ronda Rousey.
The Lioness brother.
What was that?
I said the Lioness.
Oh yeah. Well, you saw Ronda Rousey's interview last week where she was like, "It's frustrating to me knowing that I'm like the best in the world and the best women's fighter of all time, but I just had a bad night." Like, bro, you got fucked up twice badly. You didn't just have a bad night. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's so weak to be like, oh, I had like concussion going in, I had this, I had that. Like, she just kind of made excuses. She was the most dominant women's fighter to that point until Amanda Nunes came in and took over the reins and then went that next level. She walked so Nunes could run. So I do think she is slighted on like, oh, like she didn't end up being that good. No, she was that good. But Amanda Nunes, that new breed, that new group of fighters, just came in and mopped the fucking floor. How often have we seen that in probably the last couple of years of that new age guy coming in and being like, holy shit,
Yeah.
that's only his third fight and he did that to who? You know what I mean? The sport's evolving at such a rapid fucking pace that I feel like people like Rousey, they kind of get left behind, or there is a sour taste in people's mouths. They go, oh, they weren't that good. No, for their time, she was like the Connor of the sport. She did a lot when it came to kind of promoting the sport and having people from the outside come in and look. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she can hold her head up high. Like, she did a lot for women's MMA. A lot of these girls probably wouldn't be in women's MMA if it wasn't for Ronda Rousey, like, proving you can make money and headline shit. Like, she's the reason that Dana had to eat his words, basically, you know, because she was just too good.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think she kind of does get a bad rap, but the rest of that interview of like making excuses as to why she didn't win and all that, like,
that was a Cody Garbrandt.
Did she get a win? Did she get a win after that fight?
No,
because then a few fights later, Nunes knocked her the fuck out.
Yeah, she lost to Holly Holm, then took like years off, and then she fought on the same card. She fought Nunes on the same card that Dominic Cruz beat. Cody Garbrandt beat Dominic Cruz. They were the co-main. This was the main, and she got fucked up badly by Amanda Nunes in like one round.
Yeah, then I think that ended her career, right? She only ended up fighting one or two times after that.
Yeah, she had those 2 losses, and that was it. So she had like 8 wins in a row. She was like 13-0, then lost twice, and hasn't fought since. She did like WWE, but not like real fights. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I remember when she retired that the WWE fucking swooped right in and grabbed her, which is smart. Yeah, not that I really know wrestling,
but dude, she's married to Travis Brown, and they live in like Alaska or something, or like somewhere weird, and they're like self-sustainable. Like when COVID happened, she made a video. They have like their own like power, their own like water system. They have their own like hunted food and like their own guard. Like she pretty much said if the world was to end right now, we would be able to survive. Like, would you? And I was sitting in like Weymouth, and I was like, no, I'm dead.
I'd be dead. Sorry. Anything else? I'm trying to see who else. That Harrison, Sterling, we talked about. Yuri's a bad motherfucker, dude. That guy couldn't walk, and he was still throwing fucking head kicks with his lead leg.
Yeah.
Did you watch that fight?
No, I didn't. I saw the ending of it on Instagram, though, and I put money on Yuri because my buddy gave me a parlay, and he was like the last leg. He was like the only questionable leg of it. And I was getting the text updates from you and Dan, so I was so fucking pumped. I looked down at my phone. I had like 86 texts, all like, Yuri.
Yeah, Yuri's a fucking beast, dude. I love Yuri.
Dude, you can't tell a nerd he's not a real samurai. They take that shit personal. And Yuri,
he clearly took that shit personally, dude. Yeah. He weathered that storm, just dug deep and fucking went after 100%.
It. The heart of a samurai. Which definitely
he is, dude. And then he posted a video, like when he was like back, like in like the Czech Republic and shit. And I'm just like, this guy is fucking so out there. I love it.
Yeah.
He's so fucking entertaining to like see. He's like so intense, like when he talks. You know what I mean? And just like the demeanor, like the way he carries himself.
Yeah, he makes me laugh. He's like not trying to be funny, but I laugh when I see him talk. Like I just think he's like a funny guy without trying to be. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And dude, you know what? Did you see the Oliveira fight, or was that on the main card? Yeah, that was like the first fight.
I did see the Oliveira fight. I didn't see the whole thing. I was able to see like the end of it, the second and third round or something.
Dude, I shout out to Sarukian for like when Oliveira he like pulled a guillotine. Whole guard threw him in a guillotine and he didn't fucking tap out. And then he looked like he had him really deep there at the very end too, and he didn't tap. I don't know why Oliveira was like looking at people and like sticking out his tongue. I'm like, you didn't win the fight. Unless he goes to sleep right now, you did not win that fight.
Yeah.
Did he think that he had him so deep he tapped or he was out?
I don't know. I think I've been saying this for years. I probably said it to you before that guillotines rarely ever work in the UFC. So I feel like even when Rogan and Anik, like it's in deep, they always seem to just get out of a guillotine. So I can't picture a Brazilian jiu-jitsu like black belt like him would think it's deep enough where he's gonna tap and start making. I think he was just making the faces because like Brazilians are weird and do that to try and get like the crowd and maybe the judges like amped up or something, you know? Because that would have been embarrassing if he was like remember when Nate Diaz had dude in the triangle choke and he started doing this. and like flipping the crowd off.
Oh yeah,
And then
yeah.
the dude actually tapped. Like that would have been embarrassing as fuck if he didn't actually tap. I don't think Oliveira was saying like I got this. I think he was saying like this is like I'm crazy, you know, like I love this shit.
Yeah.
I love this shit type of thing. But I could be wrong though. Maybe he was just completely wrong and he thought he was gonna tap. But
He
dude,
was completely wrong. He didn't tap.
we talked about the two other ones, but who did they announce that Paulo Costa is fighting?
Oh fuck, that's right. Did I write that down? We did. We talked about Islam and DP on 302. We talked about Chandler, Connor.
It's the co-main for Islam and DP, the Paulo Costa. They announced it. It was a fucking sick fight, but I'm blanking out right now, and I'm using my phone to do this.
I'm blanking out too. Who the fuck? Hold on, let me see if I can find it.
I know I'm using my phone to record this, so I can't Google it.
Is it 301 or is it like 302? Oh, it's Strickland and Costa.
Yes, dude, that's gonna be a banger of a fight. I think Costa might fuck him up.
Costa has a chance, dude. He looks really good in his last fight against Whitaker. And Whitaker's a fucking killer. So I'm very intrigued by that fight. I think there's gonna be a lot of fireworks. The build up for that fight, the shit talking. Costa's hilarious.
Yeah, I think Costa.
As long as he can just stay healthy and get in the fucking octagon, that's the battle is just getting there.
Yeah,
but as long as Costa can get in there, he's very much in the mix to win that fight.
Yeah, he's just having fun now. He's not like I feel like when he was fighting Izzy, he put a lot of pressure on himself and shit. But like now he's just going out there and just like he says that on Twitter too. He's like he apologized for the Whitaker fight. He's like I tried to bring fight to him. Like bro, you did. That was a fucking sick fight, you know?
Yeah, that was a great fight. I think with him just fighting free and like not putting that pressure on yourself can really help. So I think maybe he kind of unlocked something with that Whitaker fight, and he can carry it over against Strickland.
It kind of seems like Vittori did that too. It's almost like when Izzy beats these guys up, they like lose their ego and can like open up and grow as fighters almost.
Right,
like
exactly.
You gotta lose to Izzy for it to happen.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So that's the 302. That's June 1st, 302.
So we should try to watch that one together somehow. We'll work it out. You can meet Pat and Dan.
Yeah, I'm trying to see the 302 fight. Anthony Hernandez is fighting on that card. Nico Price is on that card. I'm trying to see what the Phil Rogue, Jake Matthews, Grant Dawson's fighting on that card. It's a solid card. I mean, it's after 300. I feel like 299 and 300 back to back. I feel like it's so hard to have like an absolute top to bottom card because 300 was so fucking good. I'm still fucking blown away.
Yeah.
I will say I was completely wrong about 300. I talked a lot of shit for a long fucking time. I did say on paper it was good, but it's going to come down to the results. And lo and behold, dude, every fucking fight was a must watch.
Yeah.
Except for one, which is fucking crazy.
I didn't want to say I told you so, but you were just like, I don't know why, because all the matchups, except for the Chinese people, I felt like the matchups were going to be like real good for like a bunch of knockouts. Like I knew it was going to be like a heavy finishing card, you know?
Well, and I think Dana White upping the bonuses definitely helped. I think just everybody being amped up being on that 300 card, because obviously it was historic. I think that kind of had a lot of fighters amped up, and then he's like, oh, 300K, all right, fine, fuck it. And then Max Holloway got 600 for that knockout, too, which is fucking incredible. Shows Dana White's the coolest fucking boss of all time.
He is. And your guy Schaub did make me laugh. Did you see the clip when D'Elia was leaving? They did a fight companion. Schaub, Callan, D'Elia, and somebody. Oh, and Mayhem Miller. You know who Mayhem Miller is?
No.
You got to YouTube him after this or ask Dan about him. He did. He coached the Ultimate Fighter versus Bisping, and he ended up like losing his mind, like going crazy, like barricading himself in a house. Like SWAT team had to take him out. He kind of like fucked up. He's doing good now though, but you got to YouTube him, bro, because you love like the history of the sport. You will love some Mayhem Miller clips. But so it was them, and D'Elia had to leave right after the Gaethje Holloway fight, and your guy Schaub did make me laugh because he was like, oh no, dude, after that you don't want to watch these Chinese girls fight. Oh, and then he started doing this. Like, they were like, Brendan, be nice, be nice. He was like, you don't want to watch after the best knockout of all time, these two fight? It was
dude, it was crazy. Dude, Zhang Wei Li choked out Yan. I don't know how the fuck they didn't call the fight, because she was legit out.
She's a dog, dude. She's a beast. Her and Moicano, they basically both got finished. via knockout and submission, and she didn't win it, but she came back and was like, she fought a fucking good fight.
Yeah,
I
she
think a
did
lot
come
of
back.
I texted my friends after the first round. I said, I'm a fan of this young girl now. Like, she might make me a fan of this weight class in the UFC. It just sucks because neither of them spoke English. Like, the promo for the fight is all subtitles. Like, how do you market that? You know what I mean? Like, you can't get.
Yeah, you're a big market guy, and
Yeah.
you're just like, oh, like I need an English speaking
Well,
champion.
dude,
You know what I mean?
that's what got me into the UFC. Was I was seeing clips on Facebook of like fighters talking shit and like arguing, and I was like, oh, that guy's kind of a bitch. Like, I want him to get his ass beat, and then I was like, oh wait, these guys are actually fucking fighting after. This is not going to end up like a basketball game. These guys actually have to fight. So I became a fan of it. So if I can't hear him talk shit and it's all subtitles, it's hard for me to like be like, oh, I love that person, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But it was still a good fight, though. I was still a big
Yeah.
fan. I turned in. I ended up watching the whole fight, and I felt like you about the whole card. I was like, I was wrong about this fight. It was actually a fucking banger.
What do you think happens with Holloway? Do you think is he officially going? Is Taporia giving him that?
No, I think they should. Well, yeah, they should do Poirier next. Poirier said he's going to be him next over Volk. But dude, you know what they fucking should have done? Well, you know what, they did the Ultimate Fighter, so they had to. If McGregor can beat Chandler in 2 months, fucking book Holloway McGregor too. Right now is the best time ever, you know. Especially if McGregor like barely wins, you could tell he's like still on his way out. But you want to get some good money out of him for the UFC. Do Holloway McGregor.
Holloway McGregor would be sick, but that I mean, even then, by that time, because I don't know what the timetable is for Taporia to be fighting again. But if Holloway's in, they'll probably give him 6 months. Give him a few months off, and then have him get like a 3-4 month camp in.
Yeah, he's a pretty active guy too. So I'm sure he'd. And he called. I respect him for that. He called for Topuria, but it just makes me a little bit nervous because he looked so fucking good this last fight. But it's like all the analysts said, like he looked like really filled in with his weight. Like, he looked very healthy. Now he has to go back to 45 after getting his body used to 55 for 2 fights. I feel like he'll look like sucked out again. Like even at the end at 45, he looked like really sucked out in his face.
Yeah, that was
And Topuria is a dog.
He is huge though. Taporia's huge.
Yeah,
I mean, not huge.
Holloway's huge.
Just want to make sure this is plugged in. Hold on, I gotta make sure that this is plugged in. I just got a notification that the computer was low. No, Taporia's not. He's not a big guy, but Holloway's so like you can see it. Seeing him at 55 to 45, he was so much bigger and so much more filled in. It worries me. He's not gonna. He doesn't have knockout power at featherweight. So, and Taporia does.
And
I find that a little concerning.
And he already lost to DP too. Obviously, that was a while ago, and he looked a lot better. But it'd be hard because he fucked Gaethje up, and Gaethje just knocked out DP, and DP's fighting for the title. So, like, hypothetically speaking, Holloway could have gotten the fucking title shot right after that fight, but he did lose to DP in like 2019 or something. So, I guess they had to get. If Gaethje just waited, he should have got the title fight, right? Because he had just beat DP.
Yeah, he did.
Like Gaethje,
he knocked him out with a head kick.
Gaethje got really fucked in this situation. He kind of couldn't wait, and DP just had a great knockout against the other dude a few weeks ago. So, yeah, I don't know, but
against Saint Denis.
But yeah, Gaethje. I mean, he could still make a run, especially if Holloway goes back down. But I just think it's crazy how Holloway goes up and knocks out the number one contender in his first fight, fucking up there.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't mind just seeing Holloway just be a 55er.
Yeah,
if he has finishing power at 55, why not let him stay there?
Yeah, 100%. We had to see. It just depends how his takedown defense is when he's going to go against someone like him. And Poirier was like fight of the year. I watch that when I work out sometimes because it like pumps me up. It was a great fight. But Islam is just a boring fucking Dagestani. He'll just try and take him down and hump him the whole time. Wrestlers are ruining the sport.
This is his third fight as the belt holder, and he's finally fighting a 55er.
Yeah, okay, good. Thank God.
One of which isn't his fault, because remember Volk went in with 10 days notice?
Yeah.
Because who's he supposed to fight?
Oliveira.
I can't remember who.
It was supposed to be Oliveira.
Oh, it was Oliveira, right, and he got cut.
And now,
that's right.
And now Oliveira just lost, too. Oliveira kind of got fucked with that injury as well.
Damn. How old is Oliveira?
So Oliveira's injury fucked Oliveira over and fucked Volk over in hindsight because Volk got knocked out. And
Yep.
might have fucked over Gaethje's whole plan too. Who knows how that all would have worked out? But the lightweight division's good right now. It's kind of like only those 4 guys up top. Because that dude who just beat Charles was boring as fuck too, I thought.
Sarukian. I mean, that's going to be a snooze fest between him and Islam. But Islam can throw a little bit, dude.
Yeah.
I could see a knockout against Sarukian if he wins. I could see him doing it on the feet.
Yeah, Javier Mendez and I think Khabib himself have said that Islam is like a better striker than Khabib. Like he's like a better fighter than Khabib was.
Yeah, he's way more well-rounded.
Yeah, and he fought. I know I've been saying this for a while. You know, you look at Khabib's first like fucking 25 fights. Their record combined was like 20-300. Islam, in his defense, his record is not as padded. He's fought on like some legit dude, even on his come up. Unlike Khabib, was fucking and to get the record.
Yeah, and something I noticed with the Dagestanis, all they do is talk shit, and then they wrestle their way up, and then they just get to the belt and they just sit on it.
Yeah.
They're not very active.
Nope.
And they end up fighting down too.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck?
Or they'll defend it like 4 or 5 times. Like Islam's pretty young. I could see him being there longer. He seems like he still likes it, but they'll just defend it like twice, like Khabib, and then be like, "My honor says that I must retire." Like, bro, you're 31 years old. Like, you're still in your prime for like another 2 years. Why the fuck are you gonna retire? And Khabib, I do respect this about him though. He's the one fucking guy in the sport who hasn't retired and come back within like a year or two. They need to fucking cut that out, dude. These guys are like getting like fucking like sympathy shit for their retirees, and they're coming back a year later. Like, bro.
You're talking shit about Henry Cejudo, aren't you?
Yeah, Henry Cejudo is a big fucking lot of guys are doing it. Amanda Nunes made that video too. Like, bro, you've only been retired like 2.5 years, maybe 3. I forget. I'm not good at time, but I don't like. Just don't say you're gonna retire when you know you're gonna need money in 5 years. Like, you might be a millionaire right now, but if you're not working for 5 years, the endorsers are gonna leave when you're not relevant after like 2 years, unless you're McGregor, and then you're gonna have to fight again. Just keep that in the fucking back of your head. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just take a long layoff.
Yeah. That's why I like, fuck, dude, I forget who it was. It was somebody who admitted that they already did their retirement. So they said, no matter what happens in this fight, I'm not making it about my retirement. I already got on my, it was Tom Brady, actually, NFL. Because Tom Brady retired. He got all the sympathy. Then he came back for the last year and he said, I'm retiring this time. But you guys gave me a great reaction last time. You don't need to do it again this time. I don't want to make you guys keep doing this. So I respected that at least, you know?
Right, exactly. Oh, so I saw Anik tweet, and I found it very interesting. I think it was a good talking point. So he said, how do you rank these 4 knockouts? Because everyone's like, oh, Holloway, Gaethje, it's the greatest knockout ever. So he listed 4 fights. One of them, I never watched the fight, but I'll list them off and let you rank them from 1 to 4.
I'll let you know if I remember them, if I've seen them, but I'm sure I have.
Anderson Silva, Vitor Belfort.
Okay.
Leon Edwards, Kamaru Usman.
Okay.
Connor and knocking out Aldo, and then Holloway, Gaethje.
Okay.
Rank those 4.
All right, I'm gonna rank them from 4th to 1st. So the one I think is the least impressive, the most impressive. The first one, I'm going to do Vitor Belfort Anderson Silva. That was a nasty kick that apparently Steven Seagal taught Anderson Silva. But I don't know. I think he kind of just like caught him, you know? But I also didn't see that live because I wasn't a fan then. So I only saw like, it wasn't like a what the fuck moment like it was watching some of these other ones that I did see live. So I put that 4th. Then for 3rd, I'd put Holloway Gaethje because even though it was sick, Holloway was already winning the fucking fight. Like, if Gaethje had knocked him out and he had won it last second after losing like almost every round except for maybe one, then I'd rank it higher. But it was still a fucking sick fucking knockout. You know what I mean? Like, all 4 of these are sick. The second, I'll do Aldo McGregor because that was just fucking insane. That was like a what the fuck moment. I didn't expect that, dude. That was like crazy. I watched that live and I hated McGregor at the time. Oh, I was so fucking pissed when that happened. And number 1, the best knockout I think of all time, if you include everything, losing he was down at least 3 or 4 rounds. Was going to lose. You know, he was definitely down at least 3 or 4 rounds. Got the pep talk by his coach in between the rounds, like, "Come on, Leon, give it all you got." And then the fucking head kick in the last round to just flatline the dominant #1 pound for pound champion in the world and get the belt. You can't beat that, dude. That's fairy tale, you know. When you're losing the fight,
Right.
That's a fairy tale story.
Yeah, it was like a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I had to rank them 4 through 1, I just kind of by default I have to kind of put Silva Belfort, obviously way before my time. I know I guess like the ramifications were pretty crazy, like because then Anderson went on his run. I have Max and Gaethje third on this list. Great fight, wasn't for a title. He he was winning. Like the knockout is crazy because he was already winning and he put himself in an immense amount of danger, calling him to the center.
Especially versus a Gaethje, you know.
Right. Yeah, a guy who could easily knock your lights out. He could have easily lost that. Now Holloway could have easily lost that fight in that last 10 seconds. I have Leon knocking out Kamaru because Kamaru, since I've been watching it, Kamaru's been arguably the longest tenured champion or like the most dominant champion with Edwards. And then just in the fashion he did it, like you said, Usman was winning 4 rounds and on his way to a 5th round to a complete sweep of it'll be a 50-45 score. And then Edwards knocks him out. Huge pep talk, that whole thing. Especially with him taking like a 3-year layoff pretty much up to that point, and then he kind of had a couple fights, and then he was kind of there. And then I think the #1 knockout ever is Conor on Aldo, because then Conor, what goes on after that, that was the domino to fall for then Conor to go up a weight class, win that belt, and then he becomes this fucking superstar that propelled the UFC. I think that by far is the greatest knockout of all time. You just mad, dog, that you lost money on Aldo, brother.
I wish you watched that live, bro, because that was when, like, I jumped on the bandwagon. Like, I was a huge McGregor fan. Then I started to realize he was kind of a bit of a fucking scumbag. But I realized it before, like, the whole country of Ireland did. So there was, like, a 2-year period when everyone in the world still loved him, but I knew he was a piece of shit. Then that was, like, that time. He won. He went on his rampage. Then everyone started to figure it out. He punched the old man in Ireland. All these, like, little petty arrests. And that, then Ireland turned on him. But my brain's weird, dude. Right when the world turned on him and now, like, Ireland hates him, I'm starting to like him again. Like, it's like a redemption arc for me. Like, I think he's he's funny to me now, you know?
Yeah.
A little bit humble, a little bit put down in his place, a couple losses now. Not, like, thinking he's untouchable. But, so it's weird. It's been like this. Love, hate, climbing back up, climbing.
So if he beats Chandler, you're just going to fucking hate him?
No, I want him.
Is that the timeline? Is that where we are right now?
No, right now, he's on my good side. Like, I just think he's a fun guy to have in the UFC. Like, Prime McGregor, when getting all his fans, like, all, like, the Fairweather fans, but, like, when he's fighting the Buffalo Wild Wings and DC is filled up and, like, every bar is filled up, there's a different type of fucking, like, buzz to the UFC. So I'd love to see him go on a little knock it.
Yeah. All right,
but
dude. So
DP might be too good now. DP might be too good for him now for that 4th fight, to be honest. I slowly but surely watched DP go from, like, a young guy to he's actually fucking nasty now.
Yeah. He's gotten better with age. I feel like he's really worked on his craft. His striking's so good. He does have a strong chin, too. Like, he doesn't, like, seeing him get knocked out by Gaethje was like, that was kind of an oh fuck moment because he doesn't get finished like that.
Yeah, well, not at 55 at least. At 45, when he was sucking weight, his chin was a little bit iffy. He got slept twice.
Yeah. So we have our, honestly, looking at this upcoming week's card, it's pretty quiet. Not a lot of big names, unfortunately. So this is kind of that adrenaline dump is hitting us this weekend.
Yeah. Well, we knew it was gonna happen after. I mean, I feel like, to be honest with you, what was the one that Cejudo fought?
Merab?
No, Aljo on.
When Cejudo fought
Merab? Maybe it was Cejudo Merab. Was that like a month and a half ago, like 7 weeks ago, maybe?
Cejudo Marab, was that? I don't think that was a.
I watched
That
I watched the card in the basement at this Cape house with Molly's sister because her Molly's nephew had a game or whatever, and I bought the card. It was like a fucking awesome card. I think it was 297, 298.
Let me take a look.
Find out which one of Cejudo. It was on the main, but he was early on the main card for 97 or 98, maybe 99.
I don't. Yeah, it was on 98.
So
That was the Marab Cejudo.
That card was that the Volk card?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that card was incredible. Then 99 was incredible, and 300 was incredible. So I feel like there's going to be and wait, what's is the DP Islam? Is that 01 or 02?
Poirier, that's 302.
Yeah, so 301's probably going to fucking suck, dude, because they got DP and they got McGregor the next one. 301's probably.
They got Pantoja and Urseg.
Oh yeah,
as the main event.
Fuck, dude.
Jonathan Martinez, Jose Aldo will be a good fight. Anthony Smith and Vitor Petrino.
No.
Michelle Pereira, my boy.
Yeah.
He's fighting. Paul Craig's on that card.
Oh, the Bear Jew.
Yeah, the Bear Jew. He's fighting. Jamie Malarkey's fighting on that card, dude.
Brother, I'll be honest with you. I'm probably not going to watch that card except for maybe the Jose Aldo fight. And then I'm a big Pantoja fan, but it depends who his matchup is. But I'm a big Pantoja guy.
It's Steve Urseg.
So I don't know anything about him unless you see the UFC is like the best marketing machine. They make some good promos. So if I like the matchup in the promo, I'll watch it. There needs to be some tension though. If they're both like, "Oh yeah, it's much respect for this other guy. He's a legend," I'm not into it.
Yeah, 301 isn't that great. 302 is probably like the next like really good fight night card.
And then
with just the main and the co-main.
And then this is the question, Mikey. Are they going to stack 302 to make it a fucking powerhouse card? Or are they going to do what they did at the same thing with 202 and kind of make it lame because McGregor's on it and they know people are going to buy it from McGregor anyways?
I think 303, I think where they might try to ramp it up because it looks like 302 is more or less kind of filled in. But 303.
I'm definitely buying 302. We got to watch.
Yeah, 302, 301's kind of a not great. I mean, when you have the men's flyweight as the main event, how good is it actually going to be?
Yeah.
I could care less about that division.
100%.
I like Kai Kara France. He's like him and Joshua Van, the only ones I care about in that division. Outside of it, I just don't care for guys that small. Like featherweight's where I draw the line of like who I'll pay attention to, who I'll follow, and up. But the flyweight division, I couldn't be bothered, more or less.
They need a McGregor, like someone to go, like, or they need like a Ryan Garcia, like someone to go crazy on Twitter and just get people interested, you know? Like they need like a fucking Caitlin Clark of that division, but no one's. Even Mighty Mouse was like a freak of nature, but he was just too nice and respectful, so no one gave a fuck about him.
Right. Yeah. And then is he fight over in one?
Yeah, he got traded. That was like the first big trade in MMA. He got traded to Ben Askren for Ben Askren to ONE FC.
That's a tough trade.
Yeah, especially.
It's a really tough trade.
Well, Ben Askren was his first fight, Rob. Did he only get one UFC win? When he beat Robbie Lawler?
Nah, I don't know.
He might have only got one UFC win before he got the Masvidal fight. But if that is the way it went, then he wasn't cut out for the UFC because Robbie Lawler almost fucked him up too. And
his hip was also fucked up. Did he get the hip surgery after he had joined the UFC?
Yeah, I think so. His hips were definitely he definitely had bad hips.
Yeah, he had to get like hip replacement or something. Let me see. All right, let me find his.
You saw my guy Mark Coleman though put the BMF title on on Max Holloway.
What'd you say?
You saw my guy Mark Coleman put the BMF title on Max Holloway.
Yeah, dude, Mark Coleman's a fucking dog. His daughters are gorgeous too.
Yeah,
I thought that was a good little touch. Have them walk out with him.
All three of them on Instagram for like 7 years now, and now they have like so many more followers because of this. I'm like, bro, I'm a loyal one. Show me. But I thought one of the funniest comments was on Instagram after they showed the clip of Coleman putting it on was Jake Paul's eyeing him right now.
Dude, yeah, Askren looks. I think he only had 3 fights in the UFC.
But it was Damian Maia after Masvidal, right? And he lost.
Yeah, yeah, he beat Robbie Lawler, lost to Masvidal, and then lost to Damian Maia.
So he was old and out of his prime anyways, but he definitely just wasn't cut out for the UFC because Robbie Lawler was like fucking manhandling him, and then that was a weird stoppage too. I think that ref fucked up that stoppage. I remember that fight. Well,
I could tell. You seem very passionate about it.
I'm a big Robbie Lawler fan, dude. I was a big Askren fan too because I'm a wrestler, but fucking boring, dude. So boring.
All right, dude. I think we time for some FMF.
Yeah, I'll hit FMF for sure.
Do you have any names listed?
No, give me. I don't even have my phone because we're doing it on it. But give me a category. I'll just think of one off the top of my head instead of.
I have 2 names.
All right, give me a category. I'll pick a third.
They're both fighters. I'm trying to think of possibly like a third female fighter. So I have Kayla Harrison and Tatiana Suarez.
All right, can I add Misha Tate into it?
Ooh, Misha. Yeah, fuck it. We'll add Misha Tate in.
Okay. All right, hold on. Oh shit! Can you Google Tatiana Suarez and show me a picture real quick?
You know who Tatiana Suarez is.
I know, but I just want a quick reminder of her.
She has a really good documentary on HBO.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah, Justin.
Okay, want me to go first?
Yeah, you can go first.
This is already like down pat in my head. I'm fucking Misha Tate. I'm marrying Tatiana Suarez. And I'm fighting. Probably gonna get fucked up. Not a good stylistic matchup for me at all. Kayla Harrison.
All right, so you said you were
Smash.
marrying Tatiana, fucking Misha Tate and killing Kayla.
Fighting Kayla.
You're fighting Kayla. All right. This is a tough one.
Yeah, this is your answers to the.
This is like the UFC 300 of FMFs, dude. This is the 3 heavy hitters here.
Well, dude, your answers to these are always fucking wild. Like your answers to these are crazy. Dude. To be honest.
I'm marrying Misha Tate.
Okay.
Here
it is.
This is tough. I'm banging Kayla Harrison and letting Tatiana Suarez beat the brakes off of me, dude.
Bro, you might be able to even beat her up. You might be able to rush her. But you just have the weirdest answer.
Dude, come on. Tatiana Suarez, like Kayla Harrison, dude, she's a millionaire.
Yeah, but...
And she's...
Oh, dude, she's also fucking like... I mean, I don't think she's bad looking at all. I know there's people online that like hate on her big time. But she's also like not... She's like fucking jacked. You know what I mean? It's like a man.
Yeah, dude, I'll let her manhandle me, dude.
You're weird. All right, Pat, you're up. Let me hear Pat.
Oh, I don't know where Pat is, dude. He's missing.
Pat. Is he getting his haircut right now?
I don't know where he is, dude. He's gone.
All right, never mind. We don't have to do Pat. Real quick, though, bro, before we go, he might have to cut that up a little bit. But how did you feel about Carl asking Kyle to be a flower boy after he was Kyle's best man and officiant?
Obviously, that was a demotion. I sat there. I was like, how does Kyle not tell Carl to go fuck himself, dude? Because if that was me, I would have been like, are you fucking kidding me? You officiated and you were the best man.
Well, dude, do you
and then you do that. We both knew it was fucking Lindsay. We both knew that was Lindsay's, as Carl came out and said.
Well, do you watch That's What Happens live after with Andy Cohen?
I didn't. Was it with Kyle and West? Is that the one you're talking about?
Kyle and West.
I didn't end up watching that.
Well, Kyle even said, because Andy, I do like this about Andy. Andy does ask the hard questions. He doesn't hold back. He was like, what was your reaction when Carl asked you to be the fucking flower boy? And Kyle said, like, even in the moment, as I was like really drunk, I could read between the lines, and I knew it was fucking Lindsay. You know, like he wasn't gonna start a war with his. He knew it wasn't his buddy's fucking choice. You know,
Right.
but
But
they
I'm
are
like,
not a good
that's
couple.
fucking crazy that Lindsay wouldn't even allow him even to be the last guy in line. She just wanted to be like, you picked up flowers at my wedding, like you were throwing flowers at my wedding.
Dude,
Like that was such a fucking power hungry shitty move. I'm so fucking glad that they're not married, dude. I'm
but
so glad. I felt so bad for Carl this whole time.
their relationship was fucking crazy. Like they were getting,
She's a fucking nut job, dude.
yeah, 100%. But also, like, what they only have sex like once every 2 weeks, and Carl like never comes. Like, what's that about though? That can't be like healthy for any relationship.
It's probably that she's a fucking psychopath and he's just like, ugh.
Yeah, maybe. I just hope Carl's not a fucking like weirdo.
Like, dude, no, you just know that he's just fucking aggravated all the time.
Yeah,
She sucks, dude.
yeah.
She's a psychopath.
I'm team.
If
Carl.
everything else that she does, which is the reason why, like, that's how it was. She sucks.
I know. I am team Carl, but I just feel like if she's only having sex once every 2 weeks, and she's not even like, you know, she's probably fucking frustrated and pissed off all the time too. You know.
Yeah, but you can't fix crazy.
That's true. That's true. You can repress it by making her feel good all the time.
Well, it was really sad that a couple weeks ago when me and Kelsey went to Capo, that Kyle was there.
Yeah.
Carl and Amanda weren't, but they were, like, in town.
Did you guys? But you didn't like wait in like the meet and greet line, right?
No, I didn't wait in the line. I just had to go, because you've been in Capo, right?
Yeah, I love Capo.
So he was, so when you walk into Capo, like the hostess table,
Yeah.
if you walk to the right of the hostess table and go all the way down, it was like right next to the kitchen.
Like the second
So
bar back there.
What?
Like the second bar back there.
Yeah, like the second bar. So it was down by like the bathrooms.
Yeah.
So we had gone in, we sat down, we were in like the front section of the restaurant, and then I was like, I didn't know where the bathroom was, so I got to walk, and I purposely asked just so I could like kind of walk down and poke my head in. I was probably like 20 feet away from him. I was like, holy fuck, that's Kyle. And then I just went to the bathroom and then finished up dinner and left.
I honestly do believe, like, if we ran into them, like, organically, they got a bar when we're all drinking, and, like, we just talk, like, we'd have a great time, you know? But I refuse to be, like, waiting in a fucking meet and greet line for, like, a picture, you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, if the line wasn't long, I would have hopped right in. But obviously, like, I'm not going to be like, oh. And then he went downstairs after that.
I thought you were on the same page. I thought for the Shaw meet, you were like, fuck that, I wait in the fucking line to go meet it. Like, I thought we were on the same page with the meet and greet.
No, like, I'm all down for a meet and greet if I don't got to wait. Other than that, I'm like, dude, fuck this. Like, I'm not doing that.
Maybe the Shaw one was a wait. That could be true.
That was a long line at Schaub's. His stand-up, that meet and greet was a long line.
Yeah, that one, dude, I actually enjoyed that stand-up, though. I know that his specials are... I know we're going way too long right now, but whatever. I know that this is, like, the best part, like, the last, like, 30 minutes when we're kind of just, like, free-flowing, you know? But his, I know his specials suck, but when we went and saw him in person, it could be because, you know, you feel like you want to be, like, laughing because you're there and wanted to have a good time, but he made me laugh in person, dude. He was like a bro, you know?
Yeah, I thought he was pretty good. I was actually pretty impressed with his live performance. But
and he even brought up Boston, so I knew he wasn't just like repeating the same set. Like he brought up like the city he was in. So I was like, oh, you know, maybe he will grow. But then
yeah, a lot of comedians do that. They'll kind of cater. Like my buddy went to Shull's stand up at MGM next to Fenway, and he like had like half the show about like half the show was like Boston jokes and stuff like that. So like the comedians do cater their set
he
to
probably
the city.
But then like 2 years later, he like retired from comedy. He probably needed to like all the comedians say this. Like, he probably needed to like bomb a few more times, like in person, like not. But he had a good point too. What is he supposed to say no to a special? Like even if he probably knew he sucked, but if Showtime offers you a special, what do you fucking say no? You know what I mean? But
I mean, if he was smart, he probably should have like negotiated, like, "Oh, give me like more time." But at the same time, like, I would have done the same thing. If they're just gonna write me a fucking check for an hour, you bet your ass I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna say no.
100%, yeah.
But I think that just kind of, in the long run, it ended up kind of being like his downfall because like people only talk about that special. Then he came out with his other one, Gringo Poppy, which wasn't that great either. So it's just kind of tough. It's a tough one.
Podcast. Are you still listening to the out, and then thing now that's all different. I don't even know why. It just became not fun to me anymore. One day.
Yeah, I haven't really. I stopped listening to him a while ago. I think it was once like Theo Vaughn left. I was kind of like already kind of on my way out, and that was just kind of the push out the door. I don't really listen to his stuff anymore.
Well, hopefully, I mean, he's got 3 kids and a wife, so hopefully he still makes money. You know.
Right, right. Well, anything else? Any more closing thoughts on 300 and anything else, or?
No, I think that's it, dude.
All right, bro. That sounds great. We'll do this again next week. Follow us, Talkin Malarkey on Twitter.
Yeah.
Mikey Stacks 95 on Twitter for me. We got an Instagram, Talkin Malarkey, YouTube. Like, subscribe, leave a comment. Justin, what's your handle?
When this one, we'll see how this one gets chopped down and edited up, and it's a good one. It might be the one that we start to fucking really push. You know, I'm waiting for like our fire episode to put on my personal Instagram. I don't want to do a boring one for everyone to be like, "Oh, these guys suck." You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, we got to keep it classy, keep it good,
But
keep it solid.
Our first banger one, when we have like a fucking viral type reaction, we'll push it out everywhere. But
Yeah.
peace out, dude.
See you, Jay Griff.